In today's world, everything moves fast. Scroll, tap, like, compare. Everywhere you look, someone is showing you what they have, who they are, what they've achieved. And without even realizing it, you start asking, am I enough? You scroll through someone's highlight reel and begin questioning your own behind the scenes. You hear a friend's promotion and start doubting your purpose. You see someone smiling and wonder if your sadness means you're broken. But here's what no one tells you. Life isn't a competition. It's a creation. And your life, with all its chaos and quiet, beauty and bruises, is yours. Not theirs. Not society's. Yours. The world is loud. But peace doesn't come from the noise. Peace begins the moment you stop chasing someone else's definition of a good life. You don't owe the world your comparison. Comparison is a thief. It doesn't build you. It breaks you. It tells you that someone else's timeline should be yours, that their glow means you're dim, that if they're ahead, then you must be behind. But the truth? There is no behind. There is only your own path. Comparison distracts you from everything you already are, and everything you're becoming. So the next time you catch yourself measuring your worth against someone else's journey, pause, breathe. Remember, you don't owe the world your comparison. You only owe yourself your focus, because the people who shine the brightest, they were once where you are now, lost, doubting, comparing, until they realized their power wasn't in watching others. It was in watching themselves grow. The mirror is enough. Somewhere along the way, we were taught that happiness lives out there. In achievements, in likes, in someone's approval. But what if the only mirror you needed was your own? Not the screen, not the judgment, not even the praise. Just you. Look at yourself. Really look at the battles you've survived, the nights you almost gave up, the mornings you got out of bed anyway, at the kindness you give when no one notices, at the dreams you still carry, even when the world tells you to shrink. That reflection, flawed, human, honest, is more than enough. Because when you stop looking out there and start looking in here, you finally realize life is not something to chase, it's something to claim. And it begins when you say, I am already worthy. Stay in your lane, even when it's quiet. There will be seasons when no one notices you, when your progress feels invisible, when your dreams are quiet and your doubts are loud. In those moments, you might be tempted to shift lanes, to follow the crowd, to seek validation, to move just so it looks like you're going somewhere. But listen closely, stay in your lane, because greatness doesn't need to be loud. It just needs to be consistent. Every day you show up for yourself, that's growth. Every step you take without applause, that's courage. Every time you keep going, even when no one is watching, that's power. Let them rush. Let them show off. Let them wander. Protecting your peace in a loud world. In a world full of opinions, staying true to yourself is an act of bravery. People will always have something to say about your choices, your path, your pace, your silence. They'll tell you to be faster, louder, bolder. They'll question why you aren't doing what they think you should. But here's the secret. You don't have to explain a journey that's yours. You don't need to justify your healing. You don't owe them your dreams. You are not required to live loudly to prove you are living well. Protecting your peace is not selfish. It's sacred. You are allowed to disappear for a while, to pause, to rest, to rebuild, to fall in love with your solitude, to live deeply within yourself, not for validation, but for truth. Because peace is not a place. is not a destination. Peace is a decision to stop letting the world pull you in every direction. Focus inward, be still, and remember, your life doesn't need their noise. It needs your focus, the power of unseen growth. Not all progress is visible. Some of your greatest transformations will happen in silence. No audience, no applause, just you growing. When you're learning to forgive, when you're setting boundaries, when you're healing from what you never talked about, that's growth. When you choose to be kind even when you're hurting, when you keep showing up on the hard days, when you finally say no and mean it, that's not weakness. That's not invisible. That's evolution. Sometimes the world won't see your work, but you will feel it in how you breathe deeper, in how your heart softens, in how your mind becomes quieter. Don't rush the process. Don't measure your progress by outside eyes. Water your soul, even if the world calls it wasting time, because when you grow in silence, you bloom in strength. Life is yours, own it. One day you'll look back and realize how far you've come. Not because everything turned out perfect, not because you followed the crowd, but because you dared to listen to your own voice. You stayed when others left. You healed when no one noticed. You chose yourself when it was easier to fade. And in doing so, you discovered a truth many never do. This life is mine. It doesn't have to look like theirs. It doesn't need their approval. It doesn't need to be fast or flashy or flawless. It just needs to be true. So keep going. Walk your path. Own your peace. Stay soft in a world that rewards hardness. Create, love, fail, rise, try again. Not for attention, not for applause, but because your soul is worth it. And if today your pace is slow, honor that. If your journey is messy, trust it. If your growth is quiet, cherish it. Because the most beautiful lives aren't lived for the world to see. They're lived for the soul to feel. So don't wait for permission. Don't ask for validation. Don't compare your becoming. Just breathe and say it out loud. This life is mine, and I'm staying focused on me. You are not lost. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are on a path that is entirely your own. And that is beautiful. Protect your energy. Invest in your joy. Fall in love with becoming. Because when you focus on yourself, deeply, quietly, fully, everything else begins to align. Life is yours. Stay focused on yourself.